Good morning students. In this video we will discuss about the structure of DNA. In previous video also we discussed about the structure, that is the length of DNA we discussed, and even base pair rule we discussed. Okay. So now the double stranded polynucleotide chain, exactly that forms the DNA. Double stranded DNA is formed by a double stranded polynucleotide chain. So see, in the DNA, that is the two polynucleotide chains of DNA are what we call anti-parallel and complementary linked through hydrogen bonds. Let us see here. You can see here you can observe the diagram here. That is a two polynucleotide strands I have drawn here. So this is one strand and this is another strand. Okay. See, nucleotide means the sugar, yes, and a nitrogen base and phosphate. So these three together we call it as a nucleotide. Such many are there in a chain, that is what we call polynucleotide chain. Okay. In the same way here also there in this side, both are linked. See, these two chains are linked. The actually base pair rule we have studied. Do you know base pair rule? Base pair rule means there is a unique property is there in this DNA structure, that is base pairing is very specific. The purines always pairs with pyrimidines. A specific purine, especially the specific purine pairs with specific pyrimidine, that is called the base pair rule. Okay. So in a previous video we discussed that is purines pair with pyrimidine. Okay. The specific purine, for example, you can take adenine and here guanine. Adenine always pairs with thymine that is one of the pyrimidine, and guanine pairs with cytosine with the hydrogen bonds with the help of the linked through means hydrogen bonds here. Linked means pairing, bond. The bonds, these actually hydrogen bonds, what you call hydrogen bonds. These hydrogen bonds helps to make double stranded chain in DNA. Okay. In the DNA, two strands, one strand is there here, another strand is there. So these triple bond what I have shown here, you can see A and T are linked with the double bond, and G and C are with triple bond. These bonds are called hydrogen bonds or linkage. You can say that linkage, which are linked and forms the two polynucleotide chain. See, this is the detailed structure what we observed here. The pentose sugar is here. Here one nitrogen base, that is adenine I have drawn here, and phosphate. Okay. So why we call anti-parallel and complementary. See, anti-parallel means what here? Their looks appears as a parallel, but they are said to be anti-parallel because when you observe the structure, molecular structure of this nucleotide or pentose sugar, here this pentose sugar has carbon 1 here, 2, 3. Third carbon atom is open here. That means the open end of the carbon, this chain is third. Okay. When you observe this one, this side, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 and fifth carbon atom, fifth carbon is open. Okay. This direction we can see third prime to fifth prime, this direction is there, third to fifth. Okay. In the same way, in this side you can see this polynucleotide chain. Here first carbon atom, second, third, fourth, fifth. this fifth carbon atom is fifth prime, fifth carbon atom shows the fifth, that means this is open end now, okay. And well, in opposite third, okay, and that means third prime is open, this is called third prime, this is fifth prime, okay. So these are open. So when you observe opposite to this one, why we call anti-parallel, okay, because here third open end is there, opposite to that fifth end will be open. So that is why the direction is not like this. So the direction is like this, okay. So this is what the anti-parallel we can say, and they are the distance also we will discuss that in the Watson and Crick model in the next video, okay. See, and complementary, why we call it complementary, because the purines are complementary to pyrimidines. That means if you know the one chain, for example, if you know one chain this side, this is usually the what we call the backbone, we can say this is backbone. Backbone means which is formed by alternatively sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, in this way. Here also sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, okay. So next they are for this exactly the what you call see the angle when you observe exactly that is perpendicular to this line, okay. There actually this bases are arranged, okay, and this bases, see, either purines or pyrimidines are complementary, you can say complementary, always adenine combines with thymine, that means pairs with thymine. See, here also vice versa, it is vice versa, and guanine cytosine, here guanine cytosine, in this way the arrangement is there. See, for example, I will take one chain here, polynucleotide chain A, see, next T is there here, next here G is there, okay, G, next here C is there, one more you can take, T you can take, any you can take, okay, any nitrogen base you can take here, okay, G. Next also you can predict the one more chain. So one more polynucleotide chain we can predict it, okay. So if A is here, the complementary one is A is pairs with T, okay, A is pairs with T, and T is pairing with A, understood. G is pairs with C, C is pairs with G, T is pairs with A, G is pairs with, yes, G is pairs with here C, okay. You can observe the bonds also. This is what the once you identified the one strand, next we can predict the another strand, that is what we call complementary, okay. So this is the base pair rule, by this base pair rule we can predict it, okay. And one more rule is there, let us see. See here, one more rule which you may observe here, that is Chargaff's rule of base equivalence. See, in 1948 a chemist is called as Erwin Chargaff. His name is Erwin Chargaff, who analyzed the DNA in different organisms, and he observed the common thing, okay. That is the amount of purines is equal to the amount of pyrimidines. The total amount of purines is equal to the total amount of pyrimidines. That means adenine plus guanine, these are the purines, no? Adenine and guanine are the two purines. The sum of adenine and guanine is equal to the sum of cytosine and thymine. These are cytosine and thymine are the pyrimidines of DNA In a DNA, as per chemical analysis, so the amount of adenine, sum of amount of adenine and guanine is equal to the sum amount of cytosine and thymine. That is, see the amount of adenine is equal to amount of thymine here. See here the arrangement, adenine, thymine, this is actually a bond. Okay. Here the symbol I used is equal to. Okay. See, as per Chargaff, he analyzed that adenine is equal to thymine, which is present in the DNA, okay, DNA strand, and in the same way guanine is equal to cytosine. Understood? So, this is what the second observation. Okay. The first very important, it is maybe asked in for 1 marks, what is Chargaff's rule or state Chargaff's rule. It states that the total amount of purines is equal to total amount of pyrimidines. Understood? Both are equal here. And the ratio, when you observe, as per his observation, the ratio of the pyrines and pyrimidines is always constant. That is, adenine plus thymine divided by cytosine plus guanine is always constant, which is constant. Okay. Based on this, some problems, simple problems will come, that will solve in the next video. Okay. See, next one more, the deoxyribose and phosphate. Deoxyribose and phosphate. This is deoxyribose and the phosphate, these two. Okay. So, they comes under also in a backbone of the chain. No? That is, he said equimolar proportions. They are also in both strands. We observe that the equimolar proportions. Understood? The equimolar proportions which we observed in both strands. Okay. So, this is about the Erwin Chargaff's rule. He is a chemist. He observed that in different organisms. So, the DNA chemical analyzed. So, when he observed that the amount of purines is equal to the amount of pyrimidines. This is the statement of Chargaff. Okay. So, the different forms of DNA are there. Let us see that different forms of DNA.